That's definitely something we're hoping to achieve together. It is indeed a challenge not only for Petronas but any energy player to behave more sustainably, and we can't think of a better partner to test this out with, work on this journey with, other than Mercedes-AMG. I think this best living lab that we can have access to. Ultimately, of course, as we respond to changing regulations, there is the ultimate mission to have Petronas accord these sustainable solutions across the consumers and the road vehicles. Really, this is part of the largest set of solutions that we want to bring to the market, bring to the end consumers, so we do have, indeed, a sustainable, low carbon future for all.
And Toto, 2026 is still some way off. Why is it significant we're making this partnership announcement now in September 2022?
It's something we can definitely be proud of because our partnership has gone through from strength to strength, and I think we know what the regulations are going to be in 2026. They're going to go at least until 2030, and the work has already started. We are literally 10 minutes before 2026. The fuels and oils are developed with the future power unit, and as I said, that has already started, and therefore we're going to make these development steps together. Petronas' technology is an integral part of the Mercedes power unit and the other way around, and that's why we can't start early enough.
Datuk Tengku, how excited are the teams inside Petronas about the challenge of developing this brand new fuel and taking on a completely new sort of set of technical parameters and considerations?
Glad you brought that up, because this is no normal sponsorship or partnership. This is really being joined at the hip as we respond to the FIA's 2026 regulations. As Toto has mentioned, we have already started working on this. I'm very, very much excited. Well, some workers in Petronas may be a bit nervous. This is a daunting challenge indeed. But responding with a sustainable solution for the living lab that is Formula One and all the attendant performance requirements and the kind of standards that you have to meet is the kind of hurdle we aspire to always face head on as we respond to the call for clean energy as we go forward.
If I may continue with you, Datuk Tengku, how will the continued involvement in F1 benefit the wider Petronas family? There's obviously a technical challenge at the heart, but a partnership that goes far beyond that as well.
Well, I'm going to move away from the usual media spiel and give you the real kind of excitement that our team, our management, our board has witnessed firsthand. I would aspire to have, alongside the fantastic R&D in Turin, the fantastic facilities in Bradley and Brixworth coming together and converging with all the solutions. I would like to add Bangi to that. This little hub in Malaysia, to have all of the technology solutions come to bear. The work is going to trickle over to my colleagues in responding with things as diverse as biofuels through a potential green refinery, sustainable aviation fuels, and that kind of solution set, the products that we can bring to the market, really testing it out, providing a ready solution for the team as well as F1 at large, has an impact that goes beyond the current generation. I've seen firsthand how Toto has hosted very generously many of our students. We've got even our interns out there, and I think if there is any technical challenge that is as daunting as F1, and students from Petronas being interned there and given the due exposure, really the bar and the invitation is open for anyone to participate within science, technology, engineering, mathematics. This is the ultimate challenge. This is what Petronas was built for. We intend to rise to it together as a team with Toto. And everyone, of course.
Absolutely. And Toto, maybe from your side, I know you talk often about how the factory in Bradley and Brixworth as well, they feel like campuses full of young, energetic people, students, and lots of new starters as well. What do the Petronas interns and their enthusiasm bring to the team when they're working with us in the UK?
So we had the Petronas interns program for a while, and I must say that generally the buzz that we have going on in Brixworth and in Bradley with the younger people, and the Petronas interns is fantastic. It's a get-together that I always enjoy doing. It's at the beginning of the internship, and it's at the end of the internship. As I am also not a British guy, I warn them of the weather, because obviously that comes as a shock if you come from Malaysia and you end up in Breckley. But actually this year, for the first time, none of them complained about it. So we had a tough group this year. But it's really nice to see the enthusiasm and the opportunity they have. And they know that, to be abroad for 6 months, to learn from the team. So it's great. And at the end I get a presentation what they've done, which department they have worked for, and also which cities they have visited. And that is also good fun. They end up in some weird places, like I think they were in some mountain resort in Switzerland. And I said to Jules, I said, well, that was on the map, it was obvious, there was a good flight, the connection. And she
Obviously they're having too much fun too.
I shouldn't have said that, no, I put them into really trouble now.
And Toto, we see partners, sponsors come and go in Formula One, yet Petronas and Mercedes have been sort of bound together now for what will be at the end of this contract, 20 years of partnership. How important is it to have a long-standing partnership like that, not just from the technical point of view, but also marketing-wise and for brand value as well, as the sport is in the growth phase it's enjoying at the moment?
20 years, that's a proper relationship, and that can only be done if the partners share the same values. And it's very much around integrity and loyalty to each other. We like to depend from each other. We have been successful so far, and we will be in the future, but we don't take it for granted, neither do we have any sense of entitlement. But it's become natural. Green is our racing color. And that is not only for the Formula 1 team, but it's in the wider Mercedes-AMG family. And when we started discussing whether we would extend it for another almost 10 years, 8 years, we knew that we have a responsibility towards both brands. And so we did it eyes wide open. We're committing to each other again. We've been so successful from the 2014 regulations onwards, and we know how tough it will be against our competitors in 2026. But we can do that together.
And finally, Datuk Tengku, how excited are you to see not just the on-track challenge, but the holistic approach that Petronas can bring to effectively powering the team wherever we move, be it in the air, on the sea, or on the road, that there are applications of sustainable technologies out there that can help both our companies drive towards better future together?
Well, this is a challenge that any engineering student would relish, but as a firm, to respond holistically to the challenge of making F1 competitive, exciting, and sustainable with the regulations that can be rolled out in 26. Now that's got to be the ultimate technological challenge for an enterprise with our ambitions to take on. The wider reach of Petronas will also encompass, and I do hope you have the chance to reach out to my EVP here, probably is getting some stomach cramps as I speak. Sustainable aviation fuels, hydrogenated vegetable oils, the kind of transport solutions that can be really rolled out to the wider market and reach consumers and be a part of their lives. I think that's the kind of challenge that any energy company should want to take on.
And maybe let me add to this. For Mercedes and Petronas, Formula 1 is the fastest racing lab, fastest laboratory in the world. What we do is we deploy 2 racing cars and we are benchmarked against the toughest competitors out there. So whatever we are able to achieve in that environment is going to be fit for purpose in all the other markets. And I think beyond the cooperation on the sustainable fuels for the racing car, what we will be doing in sustainable aviation fuels for our charters, what we aim to do in terms of biofuel for our trucks that move from track to track. I think we can be a blueprint for all the other industries. Because if you make us move more sustainable, everybody else can do that. Because we move around the globe, we're having 24 races around the world. So hopefully we can leave an impact with your technology for other industries to follow suit.
Clearly exciting times ahead for Petronas and for the team, both here in Malaysia and in the F1 paddocks. On that note, I'd like to open the floor to questions, if we can, from our guests from the media, and if, when asked